Hey there, it's Lee Davis with your Recruitment Lab. About 30 years ago, I was flat broke and on the verge of bankruptcy because about 2 years before that, my wife and I had started our own home health agency. The problem was we immediately started using normal traditional recruitment methods that everyone else was using. I mean, the same job post, the same wording, the same basic phone conversations, all of it. And sadly, it didn't work for me. I mean, it didn't work. I couldn't generate enough applicants. I couldn't staff my positions. Most of my openings remained open. And I was broke. And I knew I really only had one last chance to get things rolling, or I was going to be toast. So thankfully, I fell back on one of my degrees, which is psychology. And in that degree, I used a lot of testing. It was called A/B split testing. And A/B split testing is where you test one process against another, and then you let the data tell you which one was the winner and the loser. It removes all the emotion, all of this. I think this might work, and this it took me out of that mess that I was in at that point. So I started having a lot of success. I mean, almost instantly with these new scientific methods. I was generating results that blew the typical industry KPIs out of the water. I started doing some research. I was curious. I started looking back into the archives of recruitment, staffing, and the processes. And much to my shock, guys, I discovered that we are still using the same basic methods, the same basic frameworks that were first started in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s. And we're still using these tactics today that were first built for your great great granddad. We've not evolved since. This old method that we're still using today is a company first model. This model, guys, is built in the wrong direction. A company first model worked great for your great great grandparents, but it will never, ever, ever work like you need it to with today's applicants. Instead, we need to be using an applicant first model that uses emotion, builds trust, and speaks to these candidates that you need. An applicant first model will help you build value. It'll help you show authority and trust and the believability that today's applicants are desperately seeking from you. Over the last 30 years of A/B split testing, and I still do it today, every day, we're still doing researching. We've generated over 2 million applicants on Indeed alone. I've written 8 books on the topics. Become the only guy in the world recognized by Lloyd's of London for all these high water marks that I've hit over the last 30 years. And I call all these new strategies or unique strategies magnetic strategies. Now, magnetic strategies speak to and they resonate at an emotional level with today's high quality candidates. Magnetic strategies attract and they draw applicants in instead of recruiting, which for all intents and purposes is begging and chasing. Guys, it's desperation. So magnetic strategies help your company show emotion, stand out in the crowd, tell a unique story, and create a message that connects so your recruitment and staffing efforts and your money builds the trust you need and increases your value, your authority, and your believability out in a crowded marketplace. Now, seeing that it's a brand new year, I'm feeling saucy. So for a limited time, I'm going to help a few owners or executives map out and create an action plan for your 2025 recruitment staffing. I'm opening up a few spots on my calendar to sit down one on one, and I will take an honest look at what you're doing, your current systems, and I'll pick it apart as politely as possible, and I'll show you what's wrong with it. Once I'm done with that, I will give you all the tools, the solutions, and I'll help you develop an action plan for 2025. It's going to help you and your teams and all your folks within your facilities or agencies attract a steady flow of not just more applicants, but more of the high quality candidates that you need. I do have an application page that you will need to fill out for me. You will need to tell me what your problems are, your biggest issues, and where you want to be in 2025. And I'll take a look at that information. What I'm offering is not for everyone. Let me be clear. So whether you're an agency or a facility, you need to be generating over 2 million a year. And of course, as I mentioned, I have an application page or a process that you'll click on the button and see because this is a free offer. And I normally charge $550 an hour for this service. So folks, I, I, I do not have time for tire kickers or folks that just want to get something free from it. Okay, if that's all right, if we can agree on that. Let's agree. So if you're generating more than 2 million a year, you're an owner, CEO, or an executive Director of Operations or HR, and you want your 2025 recruitment staffing results, your ratios, your levels to crush your 2024's results, this limited time offer might be for you, may not be for you. Now, if this is for you, whack the button. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, so I'm going to point here and point there. It may be down here. Fill out the information. I'll take a look at it and I'll get back in touch. Have a great day.